Hey, good morning, everybody. Welcome to our first of two live broadcasts. And over the last couple of days, we've been talking about some new features on Facebook and LinkedIn that are going to help your business grow faster because you're talking to more of the right people. Today, we're going to talk about LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn and Facebook have changed, and they've added many new features. But there's one feature, actually, there's two features on LinkedIn that are really going to help you, especially if you've been on LinkedIn for any length of time. Many changes make it easier to talk to people, close more sales. Now, sales statistics tell the story. The fortune is in the follow-up. 48% of salespeople never follow up with a prospect. You make a connection, you try to start a conversation, maybe you go back and forth a little bit, and then you never follow up. 25% of salespeople make a second contact and then stop. 12% of salespeople only make a third contact and stop. And only 10% of salespeople make more than a third contact. So for those of you that are already on LinkedIn, you've been on LinkedIn for a long time. And I'm talking about you've been on LinkedIn for years. As a matter of fact, I would venture to say 25 to 30% of the people that you're connected with on LinkedIn are great prospects for your business, but you've never talked to them. Or you started a conversation with them, but you never followed up. LinkedIn has two features that make following up easier. And at the end of the day, it's all about following up. Now, the magic of network marketing is that it's simple, it's teachable, and it's repeatable. Systems and duplication are what turn a good idea into a massive organization. However, if you make a lot of connections and you don't follow up, you get nowhere. So let me jump over to LinkedIn. Now, if you go over your network, I'm going to go over to mine. And you come over and look at the people you're connected to. So I'm connected to 11,431 people. If I filter that down, well, they're giving me access to 9,900 people. And I would venture to say that 25 to 30% of the people that you're connected to fall into that category of you've never talked to them, or you talk to them, but you've never followed up. You've already got a connection with them. You have 4 days left to reach out to people. And rather than look for new people, we're seeing that it's a lot more productive to reach out and reconnect with people that you're already connected to. Let's see how many people I'm connected to that are looking for an opportunity. I got 1,400 people. And most of these people, like I said, a third of them are going to be people you see. Click on the message. So here we go. There's somebody that I connected with in August of 2020. Never followed up. Now, LinkedIn has added a feature. Now we could literally just go and search in our network, all of our first level connections. We could find people that way. And you'd search for people based on what they do. So if I'm looking for, let's see, features. So I'm connected to a lot of teachers. And again, a third of them never talked to. Some of them I've never talked to. Now, you go back over to your network and you go over here to catch up. And catch up is a feature that is going to enable all of you to follow up with people. So Kent is one of my students. We started working together, I think it was 2 weeks ago. And we made today his birthday. So I'm getting notified that it's his birthday. We did that so everybody that he's connected to is going to get a notification that it's his birthday. So you could literally have LinkedIn broadcast to everybody that you're connected to. In my case, it would be 9,900 people. That it was my birthday. So birthdays are huge. Now, let's go to job change. I love this. Now, I just did this yesterday. In fact, I'm going to make a copy of this. Now, I did this 8 o'clock last night. All right, now, if I come over here and look at his actual profile, all right, we redid his profile last night. So what does this do? Imagine if you brought somebody into your business, right? You bring somebody into your business and you want to get them talking to people right away. So, Sonia, should we send links to our opportunity to someone who is ready through LinkedIn Messenger? Well, the question, does that get flagged? It doesn't get flagged, but anytime you send someone a link to a website that takes them off LinkedIn to another website, LinkedIn is going to send a notice. Are you sure you want to go there? So you better have a really good relationship with that person. And he clearly needs to know that it's something that he wants to look at. But the speed that this takes place, this, my friends, changes the game for all of you. For all of you. Bring somebody into your business, make a couple of changes to his profile, adjust his settings, and then within 24 hours, he's got plenty of people to talk to. Then it comes down to who? Who's he going to talk to? So it's a simple, duplicatable process. Now, I've opened up registration for our April boot camp. For those of you that are on my mailing list, we also send out a notice special promotion where you could sign up for 2 boot camps. And we have a promotion for people that want to really go fast and join our 90-day boot camp challenge. This boot camp has an extra session, the daily routine of top runners. Now I'm going to be back at 4 o'clock this afternoon. We're going to show you some new things. What I would be focusing on now, we still want to reach out, look for new people, but you really want to be going through your existing connections. Additionally, you want to go back to your messages, and you have in your messages the starred people, the people that you've identified as hot prospects. So these are the people you want to be following up with. All righty, anybody got any questions? All righty then. We'll see you next time. Whoops. Joseph raised his hands.
Max, how are you this morning?
I am great. How are you?
Good. When I just had a question, when you're writing somebody that's like their work anniversary or something, I know we got something for if it's their birthday, what would we send somebody like that?
Well, it would be the same thing. In other words, LinkedIn sent out a notice that today's your anniversary. And I want to congratulate you. You know, anniversaries are things to celebrate. Now, what you want to do is you got to look at what the celebration is. So if it's somebody, let's say, that you've been connected to for a long time, and they're not really a prospect for your business, there's no mutual effort or possible collaboration, I'd ignore it. You can't write to everybody. But if there is some potential, in other words, maybe they're a school teacher, maybe you started to talk to them, find their need. Because remember, any school teacher is a prospect, because many teachers that you meet jump into, the longer someone's been teaching, the longer they've been celebrating their anniversary, the more the greater the possibility that at some point in time they ended up getting into a network marketing company. So it would be, hey, I want to wish you congratulations on your anniversary. It's always nice to celebrate an anniversary. And you could use that as an opportunity. You know, most of the school teachers that I work with that have been teaching as long as you've been teaching are also involved in a network marketing company to generate side income. You only, when it comes to anniversaries, you only want to use the anniversary. Same thing with the birthday for that matter. You only want to respond and react to people that are flat out doing it, that there's some potential. So you use the happy birthday anniversary, you use the anniversary for work or any kind of an anniversary. You can do the same thing now on Facebook. I'm glad you asked the question. So you come over here to Facebook. Now, for years, one of my most popular strategies has always been the birthday. Okay, you go over here, they're going to tell you who's having a birthday. But if you wish someone a happy birthday on their birthday, your birthday wish is going to be buried. So the strategy with birthdays has always been go out 5 days. So if you scroll down to the bottom here, see upcoming birthdays. Now, LinkedIn only lets you see the birthdays for people that just are having one. And they might go back 3 or 4 days. At some point in time, believe me, they're going to end up doing this too. So what you do is you go out. Today's the 27th. Right? 27, 28, 29, 30. So you go out to April 1st. Well, and you send them, I just wanted to wish you an early happy birthday. Now, for anniversaries, you go up here in the search. You just type in anniversary. So here you have people that you're connected to. That are celebrating an anniversary. So these people celebrated their anniversary sometime in March. And your approach here would be, I just noticed on LinkedIn or just noticed on Facebook that you celebrated an anniversary this month. Congratulations. And then you would use the script again, based on who they are and what they did. The script that would follow really depends on what they did. So you're not going to see a lot, but there's some. LinkedIn, is a gold mine, and they make it so much easier that you've only got so much time during the day. And even if you go, let's go back over here to LinkedIn. You go to network, go to catch up, and you go to work anniversaries. So, for example, completed 21 years at a bank. Congratulations, it's quite unusual for somebody to work at one job for 21 years. What you really want to do, you want to look at their profile. Now, the one thing you have to be careful about is, are they active? It's possible that they haven't been on LinkedIn for 10 years, but as long as they don't do anything to their profile, the clock is going to keep ticking. So you go over here to contact information. So I've been connected to her since 2024. The question is she active? She come down here to activity. So she made a comment a year ago. What a reaction. A year ago. That's not a lot of activity. Of course, the other thing you need to look at is where is the person? So you got to take all of these things into consideration and just remember that the more selective you are, the better the results you're going to have. She works at a bank. Now, you could easily say, you know, most of the people that I work with on LinkedIn that work in banking all have worked with the network marketing company to generate an additional income stream. What network marketing companies do we work with? So you got lots of options. But again, you got to be really selective because there are people that are very great candidates. They're active, they talk a lot, they've done things a month ago, 2 months ago, versus somebody like this. So again, Joseph, the more you do this, here's what's going to happen. You're going to get better at picking better people. Your eyes are going to help you pick out the best prospects. You're going to be able to search for them quickly. And then you're going to develop some favorites. And that's where it really gets to be fun. Because remember that when you make a connection with somebody, you're planting a seed. And you're going to find that when you reach out to someone, the people that write back a lot, the people that are open to everything that you do, are going to be the people that are better prospects. The better the prospect, the better the results you're going to have. So I'll be back 4 o'clock this afternoon.
Yep.
Got anything else you wanted to know?
That's perfect. Thank you.
Okay. Catch up to all of you.